Hey YouTube, got the rail maxed here. I took the insignia off. It's got the Rise solenoid in it, so I mean it's pretty much a Rise. Just that was the only difference. Upgrade the feed neck, $12. Trigger $3. Macro line was $10. Bought a gun. Bought this brand new 324. Um, got a QEV installed in it, so it's operating at like 23 dwell. I'll put a video up on it with the new QEV. But it's definitely like I've been playing with proto guns for a while, ever since like 2007 when that first PMR came out. And then it was PM7 after that. Then like you just kind of stick with a gun for a while. But life happens. You sold your guns. I got this off brand new, just to start off again. But since like I've been around since auto cocker days, like you kind of know your way around the gun. So I put a QEV in it. Um, just if you know about ions and stuff, what the QEV does for that, it's going to do for this. So you're going to get a different sound signature. You might get a pot or two extra paint depending on your barrel vac and whatnot, other the moisture, humidity, yada yada. Um, but a few things were definitely the macro line and the feed neck. If the stock one, it comes down a millimeter or 2 millimeters lower than this die one. So I took that off, put it on a PM6. It worked out just fine. This one, I mean, it makes it a little more visible down the field, if you know what I mean. But especially with this die reach trigger as well, the Iron Man. It's meant for the reflex, but you keep the stock bolt or the screw in it, so it keeps the trigger from coming so far back forward. That will be kept in there instead of the one that comes with this. And that's how you fit it in. QEV, you got some extra hoses, like a ½ inch of 16th and a ½ inch of 1/8 inch. You laying around. I doubt you will, but I mean that's all it'll take to get a QEV in this, and you'll get an extra like 2 pods out of it. Not necessarily you'll need the 2 pods, but if you go out and play woods ball, you're gonna need an extra 2 pods. It never hurts. Another thing, we'll have a video up on this soon, operating that 25 dual with QEV. I'll have a video of me replacing the bolts on this as well. If you need any more questions of how to like maintain this or like any other settings or whatnot you have any questions about, let me know. I've been messing with Proto since they came out, so I've had everything on the field since like DM5's been working on them, PM5s, PM6s. My buddy still has a PM6 that I still think that's a superior gun to even ones that are coming out now, just because it's got an LPR in it. Like you don't really see that too often on a spool valve gun. So yeah, any other questions like gun maintenance, you can message me. But yeah, we'll have a video of this thing shooting, and I think everybody will be surprised. Just the sound and the accuracy that this thing will have when it's between 1 and 6 on your chrono instead of like plus or minus 12. So goodbye for $324. I mean the parts you're talking $20 for the QEV, $12 for this V neck, $12 for this trigger. I mean, you're still kind of about $400, which I mean, if you're on the fence between like an ETHA 2 or this, I mean, if you don't know about fixing your guns and stuff, I wouldn't suggest buying like an ETHA 2 right out the bag. If it's your first time playing paintball, you'll be really kind of smacked in the face with like what kind of technology goes into the paintball gun to have it fire. So can't go wrong with this. I mean, I can throw an ETHA across the field and not have it break because of the composite frame, but I mean, when something goes bad in it, I know I'm gonna have a tough time taking that apart at a field. Whereas something goes wrong with this, being that it's a simple spool valve design, there's only a few things that can go wrong with it that you can really just pinpoint by where that air is leaking out of, or what's wrong with it. So that's again why I got Proto. There's only a few things that can go wrong with them, and there's a lot of O-rings in a spool valve gun, but at the same time, if you've been fucking with some spool valve guns for a while, you'll know exactly what O-rings. If it's coming out the front of the bolt, it's coming out the back of the bolt. It's only two different O-rings. So I'm happy with it. I probably put a 2.5 cases through it. It definitely likes the lube. You'll see that. If you go and shoot a whole case in a weekend and you let it sit in your bag for a month, you go out next month and just try and, shoot some, you're obviously going to have to be, at that chrono for a couple minutes, readjusting your velocity on this thing because it's going to jump. But, you lube it, light lube. I mean, just put a drop on your fingers, work it in there, and just rub the main O-rings, and then just pop it back in. Like I would say, I lubed this one time really good. The next time I came home after playing, I just took, again, just worked a little lube between my fingers, got it on the sail O-ring, and I think that was it. Like just put some on the sail O-ring. Was like, all right, just rub the inside of the can a little bit, put it back in. Came out the weekend after. I mean, it shot fine. It shot like it was kind of like broken in at that point, so it was shooting a little bit better than out of the box. But you know what I'm saying. Um, you really can't go wrong with something like this. I mean, I'm literally, I just tech with it around on my dining room table, and there's not a lot of tools you need or any like space you really need for it because it's all like grouped together. Really, uh, not a bad buy. So yeah, if you're having doubts about the Rail Max, I mean, what other gun can you get for $324 and start putting like QEVs and stuff in it? You can't. You can't. So I mean, there's a lot of upgrading in this that a lot of new paintball players don't see. They just see what it is stock, and that's what it only could be. So just because for $550 you can get that upgraded gun or something that's like almost professional or like even at this point if you know what you're doing, like I bought something brand new that I knew would work, that I knew I could throw back in my gear bag after playing and then come back out next month and still use it with just a little bit of lube. I didn't, I can go out to eBay or Craigslist or my pro shop down the road and buy something off the wall that someone else has used for hundreds less, half the cost of what a brand new gun was, but I just don't know what that person did with that gun. I'm not doubting that you can do that. A lot of people still do that, but uh, I just wanted something that I knew I was the only one that touched this. So if anything's wrong with it, it's my fault, and I can fix it because I just retrace my steps. Whereas my friend Ryan bought a E-Tech 3 and didn't air it up, just bought it from the kid. Just got home. I was like, hey Stuart, we got a E-Tech 3 now we can work on and blah 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 and tech that, and we get out to the field and we're at the chrono and it's chronoing, then the fifth shot just drops off and I knew right away. I was like, oh, that's solenoid gasket, bro. And then lo and behold, you put the gun right up to your ear and you can hear that solenoid bleeding, just bleeding a little bit, but it's enough to like that sixth shot that dwell is just not there, so because it's just not getting to the solenoid, it's just bleeding out. You know how much those cost? Those cost about $100 for someone to fix those. Just the solenoid, you're just gonna have to boom new, because we took it apart. We videotaped it taking it apart, so we knew absolutely everything we put back together the exact same way we took it out. Still leaked the same exact amount, even with lubing the gaskets, taking out the gaskets, taking the lube off and using some of the gun oil and seeing that was. I mean, we did every scenario that you could have done to that gasket to make it work. We did, and none of it, still the same. So it's done. It's $100. $12 for this solenoid. So if that happened to this, $12. That's not making or breaking, the bank here. I can still go out and play, get like a 3/4 case of paint instead of a full case. Like with $100, you're done for the, that's a weekend of paintball to fix your gun. And then you gotta air it back up and test it out again. It's just I don't know. But I love paintball. If you need any help, questions, or anything about the Rail Max or any other gun, just hit me up on the comments.